looking at the blank CJCC timesheet. This one I made for quarter 1-2 of the 2025 cycle. So I've already started kind of editing stuff here a little bit. So if we kind of went back and left it as it was originally, you can put your name here, name of CAC, SAC, CASA, whatever it is. And then your staff name here, Jane Smith. And then, I don't know why I did it all caps. And then their title, advocacy, queen, whatever the title is. And that will populate across all of the different sheets, both front and back, in the places that CJCC's multi-grant sheet populates. And then down here is the way we used to do it, which is why it has all of the hours worked key. But here you can just kind of put your grant number, or however you want to do it, the name of the grant, that's fine too. And then if you have a second grant that someone was working on, whatever the grant number is, I'm just making things up. And let's say they were only split over 2 grants. So you just delete these, and it'll delete that in the spreadsheets in the back. And then we often have people who are not covered, or a percentage not covered. So let's say 10% is not covered, 30% is covered here. Which would leave, math is not my strong suit, 60% covered out of this grant. So 90% covered out of grants and 10% coming out of our general funds. That's going to populate across the names of all those grants across the multi-grant sheet that we built in a way that then if you put in a standard 8-hour day, or maybe easier to see a 10-hour day, hopefully no one's working 10 hours, but it breaks that down with the percentages across. So I also highlighted like the 5th and the 6th of October were a weekend. So I highlighted those so that they can be easier to track. So I'm just going to go ahead and put in times as if someone worked, whoops, that was Sunday, as if someone worked all of the weekdays, down here in total hours. And it's going to populate all that up. It's going to multiply it up, and then, yeah, so, and 31 days has this month, so I did that for all the months, and then it's going to calculate all of that down here. And in the grayed out section, for those of you who are bi-monthly or 2 pay periods per month, we are here at our center. It asks you this in the SER, so like how much was worked pay period 1 on this grant versus total, and sometimes those are not the same depending on what people do, but anyway, so that's the front. And then once the front is filled out, it automatically on the back pulls over those numbers here, so that as you're filling out the different things that you're doing, I'll just pull for randoms, interagency advocacy, and individual assistance, individual support, so that if I work 2 hours on each of those and it totals 8, it's going to total across automatically as built, but it matches. So you'll know, we find this is the hard part, that sometimes when we don't match, like if we put a 3 here, it would be 9, and we would need to figure that out and make sure that those hours match. And so once you did all of that, this number here should match this number here. So all of these, the way we use other is that we come over here, it'll just put their name on the top of other, and then we go duplicate here, and then we name it, if we need other that month, October other. We keep the name short in our center because when they're long, they take up a lot of space down here on the bottom row, and then we just drag it over here and put it at the end. So if you wanted to get crazy and recolor it, you could, but so let's say in the back there was a need for other for a training week. Let's say someone went to child first training on the 14th, 15th, 16th, 18th. And we could add that here from 10, 14. Sometimes I like to get creative. Okay, and then this document auto totals at the bottom. It's at 40 hours of training, and then it has the employee and the approved signature lines. And I think one thing, that's the other thing, and then the complicated bit for us is printing. And so I share these with my staff, like each of them gets their own spreadsheet, and then I'm the one that prints them because I make sure they're all set and check for errors before they're printed. Is I select what it is and then I hit Control P so that when it brings up the print settings for me, I can just print the current sheet in landscape fit to page. And that prints the front. It will print this. You can delete it if you want. CJCC is not going to care. And when printing the back, it's very similar. So I select what I want to print, not with the red numbers on the side, and I hit Control P. And instead of current sheet, because it is going to include that drop down text from the bottom, which is buried in the cell, I click the selected cells, and then I just fit to page print as well. Same is true if I go to print the October other. I just again select the cells and then Control P and print selected cells. That one works a little cleaner because it's a simpler one. I hope this helps. Again, whatever you do with all of this, it's hopefully a lot easier than doing it over and over again. If you have any questions about it, my email is alan@cc-cac.org, or you can call me at 770-832-8733. Thank you so much, and I hope you have a wonderful day.